order. Roll call.
Mayor Parsons,
Present.
Vice Mayor Vasquez,
Here.
Commissioner Laura,
Present.
Commissioner McCaffrey,
Present.
Commissioner Warren.
Here.
We have quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. If you'd all stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. And if you'd remain standing for the invocation, please.
Pastor Jason Toombs, representing the Liberal Ministerial Alliance, let us pray. Heavenly Father, God of all concord, it is your gracious will that your children on earth live together in harmony and peace with one another. Defeat the plans of all who would stir up violence and strife. Destroy the weapons of those who delight in war and bloodshed. And according to your good and holy will, end all conflicts in our world. Lord Jesus Christ, as you once shared in our human toil and thus hallowed the work of our hands, bless and prosper those who maintain the industries and service sectors of this land, especially our commissioners and everyone who is here this evening. Give us a right regard for our labors and grant us the just rewards for the work that we do. Almighty God, Heavenly Father, be especially with those who are going about their days tomorrow, especially on this first day of school. Be also not just with the school children and the teachers and the staffs of the schools, but also be with all those who watch over them, including the law enforcement officers, firefighters, and everyone else who goes about in our world. Continue especially to give us concord and peace so that we may look forward to coming home and celebrating with great joy with those who we love. Continue to be with us and mercifully incline your ears to our prayers and supplications that we have made known to you this evening. In your beloved Son's name we pray. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, item number 1, awards, proclamations, and presentations. None of those. Item number 2 is approval of the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? What's that?
Who was the second? I heard two, so.
Oh,
You have to declare.
I have to call it? Okay, Jose. We'll give her on the next tie. A motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Item number 3, minutes. We have 2 meetings, a July 28th regular meeting and a July 30th budget work session meeting.
I'll move that we approve the July 28th regular meeting minutes and the July 30th budget work session minutes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion, questions? Okay, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Item number 4, items from citizens. Do we have any citizens who would like to come and speak to the commission? Okay, seeing none, move on to item 5, items from groups. Any groups like to meet with speak to the commission? Okay, seeing none, we have item number 6 would be the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as printed. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion, any questions? Okay, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Item number 7, we have Watkins Public Strategies legislative update.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, excited to welcome up some friendly faces to talk a little bit about what to expect in the upcoming session, which is a lot of unexpected things at the moment with elections going on, as well as some of the things that were accomplished in this previous session.
Thank you, Keely. Is the mic on? I think so. Hello, everyone. Jessica Lucas, Vice President, Watkins Public Strategies. It's good to be back here in front of all of you and talk a little bit about what happened this past session, as well as what is going to happen moving forward. I'm actually going to touch on basically what happened this August in the election, and then what to expect as we prepare for next year and our time back in the legislature beginning in January. So on August 4th, voters went to the polls and selected Senator Roger Marshall as the nominee for the Republicans in the U.S. Senate race, and a gentleman named Adam Hamilton as the Democratic nominee. So we're going to see a lot of money invested in that race as voters make a decision in November about this U.S. Senate race. In addition, it's also that time where all of the statewide elections are up, so that means we're going to be electing a new governor. We will also have candidates on the ballot for insurance commissioner, attorney general, secretary of state, and treasurer. I want to talk a little bit about the gubernatorial race. So that is going to be a matchup between Senate President Ty Masterson, who has another senator on the ticket with him, a gentleman named Jeff Klemp, who is running as his lieutenant governor. Senator Masterson is from Wichita. Senator Klemp is from Leavenworth, Kansas, and they are the Republican nominees. And then on the Democratic side, we have a state senator as well, Cindy Holscher, who has a representative, Casey O'Habisam. Senator Holscher is from Johnson County, or Overland Park, I think is actually her address. And then Representative O'Habisam is from Wichita. And that is who voters from both parties, they were highly contested primaries this year, and they selected those folks. And so we're going to continue to hear a lot from both of them, both of those campaigns between now and November. On this side of the Attorney General, current Attorney General Chris Kobach is running and has a gentleman named Chris Mann running against him. This is the same matchup from 4 years ago. Also some familiar faces in the insurance commissioner race. Dan Hawkins, who is the current Speaker of the House, is running against a current Senator, Dinah Sykes, for that race. The state treasurer's race is Stephen Johnson. He does have a Democratic opponent. Forgive me, I don't remember that individual's name. And then for Secretary of State is legislator Pat Proctor, who decided not to run for re-election in the state legislature and is going to run for Secretary of State instead. And then a former legislator named Jennifer Day is the Democratic nominee. So all of those races are going to be going on. In addition to 125 House races, your own Shannon Francis is running unopposed. So we do know that Representative Francis will be returning to Topeka next year. He's one of only about, I think there were 19, don't hold me to that number, that had no opponent. So there's going to be a lot of many new faces in the legislature. And of course, we'll see in November what happens there. There are also 2 Senate seats that are on the ballot as well. But when Keeley spoke about a lot of unknowns, there are a lot of unknowns. We know that the Speaker of the House is not returning next year. We know if Ty Masterson wins the governor's race, there will also be a new Senate president. We know that 125 House members are up for re-election. And so because we're going to have a new Speaker, I cannot look at you and say, anything that we're seeking to do, we kind of know where to go with it because we don't know who the committees are going to be. To give you a sense of the timeline, we'll have the election on November 3rd. The latest possible date this year is when we will have the elections for leadership. That's December 7th. And that's when all of the Republicans will gather in the House to decide who they want to be their next Speaker and Majority Leader. And the Democrats will gather to decide who they want to elect as their Minority Leader. And what we understand about the process, if we've certainly not in recent memory, had a Senate president elected to governor. But what we understand is if Ty Masterson is elected governor, then on December 7th, the Senate will also make decisions about their leadership. Dinah Sykes, who is running for insurance commissioner, is currently the minority leader. So presumably if she were to win for insurance commissioner, her replacement would also happen on that December 7th date. From there, whomever the members decide for leadership, those leaders will then go and put together this puzzle around the committees. Who's going to chair committees, who's going to be on the committees, and those of us working in the advocacy space will be impatiently waiting for that announcement to be made because we'll have a very narrow window to really even engage with those folks in their new capacity to talk to them before the session kicks off. On January 11th is when the inauguration will be. Everyone will convene back in Topeka. We'll do inauguration, we'll swear in all of the members, and then things kick off, and that takes us to January 21st, which is when you all are back in the Capitol for our annual Pancake Day, and we'll have a dinner that Wednesday night. So happy to field any questions that any of you have just about what things look like between now and then. We know, and Nathaniel's going to talk about some of the legislation that was went through this year and but we certainly expect continued dialogue in the legislature around property taxes. We do have to do a new school finance formula, so that's going to take up a lot of bandwidth within the legislature. Energy issues will continue to be part of the conversation, as well as healthcare topics. So a lot will happen. Unfortunately, it's going to move very slow. What I didn't talk about was also the piece that whomever the new governor is has to amass their whole team. So if Ty or Cindy are elected on November 3rd, they're immediately going to put together a transition team. They're also then going to be identifying who the new secretaries will be: Secretary of Transportation, Secretary of Correction, Secretary of Department of Health and Environment, Department of Children and Families. All of those agencies will have new leadership. So it is a time of learning. Had a great meeting earlier today here in Liberal that included some additional folks with Keeley, and Commissioner Lara was there, Eli Swati, talking about the engagement that we want to have, and it is our intention to be having conversations now with both gubernatorial campaigns and making sure that, again, they're familiar with what the needs are here. Our goal is always that when that budget is presented, that it reflect a border-to-border budget, that there are investments being made in Southwest Kansas, the same as we know there will be investments made in other parts of the state. So we look forward to having those engagements and involving all of you in those conversations, not waiting until we know who the governor will be. We certainly want to engage with both of those campaigns between now and November, and then continue that through the process. So with that, I will switch to Nathaniel, who will talk about legislation, and then we'll stand for any questions that you have.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the commission. Nathaniel Blank with Watkins Public Strategies. Just going to run through some real highlights of the legislative session that pertain to Liberal. First was the renewal of STAR bonds. That was in House Bill 2466. Also packaged in that was the enaction of the Kansas Sports Authority Act for the Chiefs Stadium, and then it extended the expiration date of STAR bonds to July 1, 2031 as well. Taxes were, of course, a big part of the session. Many plans were kicked back and forth between the Senate and the House. The Senate's position were largely constitutional amendments with a cap on value assessment. The last one that was passed out was House Bill 2043. That would have provided a protest petition to contest certain increases in property tax revenues and continuing reimbursement from the Taxpayer Notification Cost Fund for another 5 years. That did pass the Senate 27-13 and the House 87-35, but was ultimately vetoed by Governor Kelly. It also would have provided a protest petition to contest a budget that exceeded inflation according to the Consumer Price Index for the Midwest region up to 3% per year. It also would have allowed revenue neutral rate notices to be filled out and signed by the registered voters of a taxing subdivision and submitted as a signed protest petition. Like I said, that was vetoed. We do not anticipate property taxes going away anytime soon, especially in the next session. Moving on, another bill that's been repeatedly brought up the past couple of years, commonly known as the No Impact Home-Based Business Bill. That was in SB 197 this year, and it would prevent requiring licenses for businesses in homes that did not generate external parking, essentially. We worked with the other parties involved to try to reach a solution. Really just couldn't come to one that was acceptable. That was passed in the House in 2025, but that conference committee report was not acted on this session. Some other local government bills, just for your awareness, would be House Sub for Senate Bill 244. This one kind of achieved national infamy, which requires the designation of multiple occupancy private spaces in public buildings for use by one sex. House Bill 2378 enacts the Removal of Squatters Act that creates procedures for property owners to request law enforcement to remove unauthorized persons from a dwelling unit by submitting a notarized affidavit. Senate Bill 391 prohibits any city or county from adopting or enforcing any ordinances or resolutions that prohibits landlords landlords from refusing to lease privately owned residential or commercial property to a person because of their source of income to pay rent. That includes through the Federal Housing Choice Voucher Program, and it restricts other income qualifying methods from being implemented. And then lastly was Senate Bill 418, which enacted the By Right Housing Development Act, which provide a streamlined approval process for certain housing developments, including single-family homes, townhouses, and accessory dwelling units, excuse me. The bill would require regulatory authorities to approve such proposed developments either a matter of right without discretionary review or approval if they met certain criteria. And that is all I have today for you, and I would be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
That House Bill 2733 that requires the elected officials for it to be residents and qualified electors, will it have any teeth? Because I like that idea.
I'm not sure on the exact enforcement methods, but we can definitely look into that and get back to you. And then, of course, we're always a phone call or an email away.
Anything else?
That sounds good.
Thank you guys for all you do.
Thank
We
you all, and
appreciate
we
you
will
guys
see
very
you
much.
in Topeka in January, but certainly be back here before then as we meet with the gubernatorial candidates.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 8, Watkins Public Strategies Lobbying Services Agreement.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, we bring this every year, a contract for services for lobbying with Watkins Public Strategies. We have partnered with them since August of 2023, and it has been an extremely productive partnership. I can't say enough about what they're able to do for us, and not just at the state level in Topeka, but they are great at connecting us with those federal resources as well, not just the legislators, but also the key contacts in those departments, those secretaries and those administrative staff who are responsible for being able to assist us through different things that we need. So their services for us include lobbying for us, helping us with written and oral testimony preparation on certain bills. They can put that together, it seems like in no time. There's times I'll get a desperate, hey, what do we need to do on this one? What's the stance on this? And so there's rarely a day in that 90-day session that goes by that we don't hear from each other at least once a day. But we're getting consistent updates on things that are happening, so there's a lot of education that goes into that. Again, they connect us with those key contacts and provide good monitoring of when there are thousands of bills on the table. It can be tough to just filter through all those and see which ones we need to focus in on, and which ones have legs and which ones don't. That's another thing that's really important for us. And so they're there every day. They are talking with those legislatures constantly. And so being able to monitor and then report that back on a consistent basis for us to be able to watch what's most important for us has been extremely helpful because it is a flood of information every day. So with that, we are requesting the renewal of the consulting agreement that's attached here. There is no cost increase for this. It is for a 1 year. And they do have expense reimbursements in there as well. So
Do they request those regularly?
yes, just as expenses are incurred, travel, meals, that type of a thing. And so for this, this is one we're recommending approval of the consulting services agreement to be funded through the economic development portion of the 1% sales tax. It is a budgeted expense.
We'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the lobbyist consulting services agreement with Watkins Public Strategies as presented in the funding through the economic development portion of the 1 cent sales tax.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion, questions? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Item number 9, 2026 federal funds exchange.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, the city participates in the Federal Funds Exchange Program through our agreement with the Kansas Department of Transportation. This program enables us to trade all or a portion of our federal fund allocations with KDOT in exchange for state transportation dollars on an annual basis. These are for certain roads maintenance, construction expenses, and the current reimbursement rate is 90%. We currently have a balance of $286,266.22, which at 90% exchange rate equates to $257,639.59 available for our use. Staff has identified and attached one invoice that we wish to submit for reimbursement for the chip sealing project. We opt to utilize this federal funds exchange for flexibility in selecting our projects, and staff requests the commission's consideration to approve our 2026 submission.
I move we approve the federal funds exchange reimbursement request in the amount of $257,639.59.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Questions? Okay, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Item number 10, Western Avenue Mill and Overlay Proposal.
Mayor, Commissioners, sometimes you got to take a shot, and I'm going to take one here. In the 2027 budget, we had planned on a mill and overlay on Western Avenue. So I'd reached out to J&R Sand about what's the possibility of you guys having a gap where you could get this done and we defer the payment till 27 like we did on the Arcalan Road project. And they got back with me and said that they would do that. So what I'm requesting is to waive the purchasing policy, the bid process for Western Avenue. I lost my spot here, hold on. So basically, we would mill and overlay from the railroad tracks to 15th Street, 2-inch mill and overlay. That is the most complaints I get on a road on a daily basis is Western Avenue. So I thought if we get an opportunity to do it before next year, why not go ahead and do it? With not going out for bid, the timeline that J&R can have it done, and then they're also telling me they bid their liquid asphalt in bulk, and come October 1st, the bulk rate's going up for liquid asphalt. So if we go out for bid, we're gonna miss that date, and the price is gonna be considerably higher on this project. It would have been nice to get it done before school started, but if they can get it done in 2 weeks, which they said they can, and they'll do 2 lanes going one direction, so they'll always have 2 lanes open. It'll be an inconvenience for, 10 days. But I think if we can do this, we need to jump on this. Their bid was $997,000 to do a 2-inch mill and overlay. All the specs are state specs on the asphalt. We will be doing the striping on the street. They did go out and assess it and thought that a 2-inch mill and overlay would cover the transverse cracking and smoothing out the road. Because it was done a 10-inch complete redo in 2010 is when that road was put in. And it's been chip sealed one time in 16 years, which is probably the reason that the condition that it's in now. And I can answer any question, I hope, that you might have.
So, on May 12th, which I would have been here then, maybe, we accepted a bid from B&H. I didn't understand the explanation.
No,
That's for the ex-federal exchange.
Oh, that's for the
Keep
federal
scrolling.
exchange. Oh, okay. I didn't. go
I
far
didn't
enough
find
down.
it in my.
Never mind, I got you, okay.
it should be after the,
Yep, I got
Right
it.
here.
There was just a lot of paving and highways.
yeah, page 39.
Yep, I
Right
see it
here.
now, okay.
It's not-
This
It's
one.
not in my packet.
Let me see. How soon would they start? Keep going.
No. It's
Uh,
after item
He
12.
talked like the end of August, 1st of September-ish.
Okay.
Everything is conditional on what they're doing now. But
Yeah.
they felt like they had that gap to get it done. I had initially asked them to do it in October,
Yeah, that's what I was
and
just,
they said
no.
because of the price increase and other projects, that they would prefer to do it the end of August, 1st of September timeframe.
Brad, do you want to expand on the competitive bid process
So-
and how that works for them and the other company?
The local companies, they kind of have a gentleman's agreement that you don't come in our area and we won't come in your area. Plus, the way this job is designed, I don't see anybody coming down here and relocating a plant for 6,000 tons of asphalt. They bid a job last year in Seward County for over 10,000 tons. Nobody bid on it. And if you look on their bid packages, which I've got those from that job, just relocation cost of moving all their equipment down here can be in excess of $200,000. When J&R's already got their plant set up right outside of town. And the other thing, and I'm just gonna throw this out there, this is a local company. They're all local workers. They all live in Liberal. And they're always gonna be here to help us out.
And I have no problem with any of that, but it's just a question. So the other company is this Venture Corporation refusing to bid per verbal agreement and requested letter. Did that come from, like, did they actually do that, or that's what JNR is saying?
No, they're not gonna provide a letter.
We felt that they would last week when I wrote the agenda item.
I don't think that's something that they want. It's just
Okay,
like their underlying agreement with each other.
So what do we have to, I know it's not been really touched in 15 years. But have we done any coring, anything like that to show, the depth of the necessary overlay? mill
So
overlay?
we did ask them to assess what we need to do and how deep we needed to go. So they did that.
Okay.
Eric's been with them for, 20-some years. That's what these guys do for a living, so I trust what he tells us
Sure.
when he,
So we've had PEC kind of doing some of the other projects. Have they given any opinion on this one yet?
we actually, if we were gonna do this in 27, we were gonna have them do a full evaluation, but it was roughly about $21,000.
A work order on average is gonna be 25,000.
Yeah.
Brad, for the bid that JNR proposed to you, is that within the ballpark of other bids? Is that normal for what they bid other projects or other entities bid projects do this kind of work?
Honestly, I can't answer that, except I can give my opinion. I thought it would be more than this. Because it's 4 lanes wide and it's a mile long. And the traffic is gonna be a nightmare because of school.
So I will say, when we got this, I tried to look, your standard Google searches nowadays to see what it normally costs in Kansas, and their price comes in right at what everyone says. So it makes me comfortable with what they bid. It seems to be fair. I am uncomfortable not having another option, but
I kind of relate this to the B&H paving that we've done for the last 25 years. We have never had one single bidder on it. And every year we bid it. And sometimes you got to do that to keep them honest and keep them fair, because they don't know nobody else is going to come in and bid. But there's no other asphalt plants even close to here. Garden City, up towards Garden would be the closest one.
JNR is who the state uses for a lot of what they do on the highways here as well, right?
Yep. And they've done all the stuff west of Guyman. They've done everything out towards Boise City. And they've done a lot of 54 highway going to Wichita too. And if you notice, I can't remember the last time another asphalt company has done a job in Seward County.
Yeah. We keep the millings or they keep the millings?
They keep the
They
millings.
keep the millings, okay.
And I don't know if we want them 2 inches of millings.
That'd be a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
So I guess the last question is, are you comfortable with this expenditure? I know it'll be done now, but budgeted for next year. and paid
Other
next year.
than the water park, it is the most high priority to me personally. I drive it all the time because we get a ton of complaints about Western Avenue from 15th to the railroad tracks. So I think the public would appreciate it. When you get in the outer lanes, it gets very, very rocky. That's where I notice it the most. So I definitely feel that we can afford it in Fund 260. We can replenish it in a couple of months. And I am concerned about the price increase after October 1, and I would like to take advantage of that. So.
And I can't say I can guarantee it, but I would almost guarantee it. Nobody's gonna defer payment to 27.
Right.
And we did have it on the CIP at the last work session that we wanted to discuss it. So it has been on the radar for quite some time.
Well, I move we approve the Western Avenue Mill and overlay project in amount not to exceed $997,000, with funding coming from the streets, drainage, and capital improvement portion of the 1% sales tax.
And if I could, Nathan, before we get a second on that, let's hold that motion. We do need to have a motion to approve to waive the purchasing policy regarding bids. We can keep that motion pending, but we need that other motion before we go forward with that particular motion.
Do I have to make that one too?
Anybody can.
I'll make a motion that we waive the purchasing policy regarding bids.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to waive the purchasing policy. Bid policy, right?
Yeah.
Bid policy,
Regarding bids.
right. Okay, any discussion, questions? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, motion passes 5-0. Now, back to Nathan's
We have a
motion.
pending, I think he's already made the motion, so we have a
But
pending
I was
motion.
just gonna end it with billing to follow in January 2027 when budget authority is available.
Great. Did you get all that, Alicia? Okay.
Second.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion and a second on that. Any discussion or additional questions? Okay, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Brad.
And I will make sure we coordinate everything with the schools and let them know and social media wise with Keely to try to make it as smooth as possible.
Okay.
Great. Item number 11, city staff.
I might as well go real quick before Kim gets up here.
Yeah, it's 11.
Yeah. Come on, Kim, yeah.
I didn't know it was an item.
We'll let Brad rest his vocals for a moment.
All right, that's a good thing, right? So Kim Klinkenbeard, Municipal Court. I'm here tonight to introduce you to our new municipal court judge. But first of all, I'd like to say that, as we know, Judge Maxwell resigned back in April. So we have been covering court dockets like crazy, and we've had a lot of really great local attorneys that have actually been helping us out. And I just want to say thank you so much to them, because without them, we would not have been able to continue to have court hearings if it wasn't for them. So I'm very appreciative to them. I'm also very appreciative to our court staff, because it's not easy when you have different attorneys coming in and working with the court staff. They're having to explain they're having to get papers, ready for them. So they really stepped up to the plate. So I'm very appreciative to them as well. So I'd like to introduce you to our new municipal court judge. Most of you know him, but this is Lane Freimeyer. So, Lane is with the Sharp, McQueen, Yoxel, Dodge, and Freimeyer Law Firm here in Liberal. So, Lane has actually been covering municipal court dockets as a judge pro tem for several years. He was always Judge Maxwell's go-to, so if Judge Maxwell was not available, if he was on vacation, I think he had Lane's number on speed dial, so, and Lane always responded very quickly, so we always knew that we could keep court going. So that was always nice. So he has a lot of experience in municipal court, and he's going to do an amazing job. And the other great thing is with him being a partner in the firm, if he's needing a vacation or he needs to get away, one of his partners can cover court dockets, and that would be Miss McQueen or Mr. Dodge. And they are two of our local attorneys that have also been helping fill the court hearings since April, so along with Judge Freimeyer. So things have been going quite well, and we're just really excited to have him on board with us. I know I'm looking forward to working with him, and our court staff is super excited to have him on board. And I think it's going to be great. So we're ready to move forward. So.
And I just said, I think I've appeared before this commission before, and I think most everyone in this room knows who I am. Started practicing law here August 2 of 2010, so I've been out here 16 years. I've had a wide variety of practice. I'm licensed in both Kansas and Oklahoma. As Kim said, you know, I was Judge Maxwell's go-to pro tem for the better, I don't know, about 4.5, 5 years. So this is not at all new to me. I'm very comfortable in that role. I feel like I get along well with the staff. So very excited. Good opportunity for me. And you know, I appreciate, you know, the faith that Kim has in me, city manager Disker, met with her. So super excited to be doing this and do my part. I've got a kid here. My wife teaches art at Liberal High School. So I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. But excited for this opportunity and just want to come and introduce myself and we'll continue to do a good job, just as Judge Maxwell did for, you know, the 13 or so years that he was on the bench, so.
Yes. Always.
All right, thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us, and if he treats you mean or anything, you should let us know.
Yeah. So also at this time, I would like to give kudos to Scarlett too. So this has been, I think as a city manager, she doesn't get a lot of recognition, but during this time, I have had to lean on Scarlett quite a bit. And we've had lots of phone calls, we've had lots of emails, we've even had a lot of late night texting, just trying to get this position filled. So she's been amazing. I worked here a long time, but sometimes you might see her vehicle at City Hall at 7, 8 o'clock, even later. And it's because she's working on numerous things, because during the day she's probably had to help people like myself out as a department head. So, you know, sometimes you just don't find city managers that are gonna take the time to be texting you at 8 or 9 o'clock at night when you're trying to getting responses that late at night or answering emails. So I just wanna say that I'm very appreciative of Scarlett. So thank you very much for all your help, because I couldn't have done this without her. So I just wanna tell her I appreciate her. So, thank you.
Thank you. Brad?
I didn't know she was an item. Just a couple of things. Please remember, school starts tomorrow. The school zones will be in effect tomorrow. Pine Street, everything's been striped. When you drove over here, if you noticed it, the traffic maintenance and building maintenance guys, I think they did a phenomenal job striping that. Probably saved us 90 grand to have them do it in-house. Concrete on Main Street is continuing, and hopefully pretty quick, we're gonna be moving when we finish there over here to start the dog park.
Oh, good.
And just a side note, our water project is, we found out today, about 60 days till it's finished. So the runway project is also moving forward, but it's a little behind too, or the taxiway project at the airport. That's all I got. You better turn it on.
Just a couple of miscellaneous things. Today, we did have a couple of meetings for downtown master planning. This morning, we had more than a dozen, I think there was like 20 people in the room, business owners to do a roundtable. And that was incredible. We heard from a lot of people that we don't see every day. And so it was interesting to hear how they are using downtown, some of the opportunities that they have, some of the struggles they have. It was a really open conversation, and I feel like it was a good process. And so we're excited to kind of move forward into the next phase. We had a staff meeting as well, just kind of thinking through things from our perspective, maintenance wise, long-term planning, financial part of those things. And so it was a great conversation. So we appreciate those business owners that took the time to come and do that. It's a big deal. The Christmas tree arrived yesterday. So we want to thank our park staff for not only unloading that semi full of equipment, but also finding a space for it. It's starting to look like Santa's workshop over in park maintenance. So we're excited to have that. I believe they are looking at mid-November. We always wait until after Veterans Day to get that started. So very much excited for that. And then work is progressing on the railroad overpass. We have several studies that are wrapping up and in that phase of just getting those technical memos issued for those, starting some of the early on environmental assessment pieces that will be needed, as well as we do have a call tomorrow with KDOT and Union Pacific. We sent them the concept drawings, so we're going to get their feedback tomorrow and see what their ideas are. So things are moving along there. It doesn't look like a lot, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes on that. That's all.
Any mountain lion sighting updates?
We did have a mountain lion. We do know the difference between a mountain lion and a bobcat. So
But tell them how many more followers
we
got as a
picked up more than 40 new followers yesterday because we put that notification out. And that really is intended, it is a park of ours, and so we do feel a responsibility to notify people of that. I did not know until Monday morning what I was supposed to do if I encountered a mountain lion, but now everyone knows.
Is there
So.
anything we post at the actual park and not just online?
What was that?
Is there anything that gets posted at the actual
I
park?
believe so. I think the Camp Post has got that information out, and the Camp Post is really great about notifying campers of things like that. So hopefully it moves on its way, but it was important.
Been around because Gerald showed me pictures about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He took.
Really? I can,
Yes.
Not a bobcat.
we do need a sign like,
Yeah.
beware of bears, beware.
So anyways, yes. We appreciate people who did share that to help.
I mean, it's made other news outlets too.
It has, yeah.
The media ran with that story.
Not a fan that one makes it sound like it's inside one of our local parks.
It does, and I think that's kind of the context they're viewing it from, so it spread very quickly. So, but it is one of our parks, and we are proud of that park.
Bad publicity.
Exactly.
Everyone,
get people coming just to see it.
everyone Googled
You're
Arcane
right.
Park, so it's a good thing.
Just appreciate your time working through the budget and the 2.5 hours in the work session, and look forward to continue to work through those numbers.
And that's because we ran out of time.
Did pretty good.
Just a reminder, we will have a budget work session on August 27th at 9 a.m.
Okay, any other staff? All right, move on to item number 12, city manager report.
So Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, it's a rare occasion where I don't have several items on the agenda, so I will take it. I have 4 items to report here at the end. First of all, thank you to Hutton Design Build team out of Wichita and Garden City, Water's Edge, the city of Wichita, the city of Park City, who were very hospitable to us last Tuesday when we took a team of people from the city up there to view a community pool, 2 splash pads, and 2 water parks. The trip was exciting. It really gave me hope that we can deliver for the residents of Liberal what we want for the price tag that we think we can do it for. And really excited to get the designs out there and worked on, and keep that in front of the public so that they will trust us that this project will come to fruition and it will be fantastic. And I'm very much looking forward to that, and be on the lookout for that information as we release it, because we will be very transparent with it. We know how important it is to the residents of Liberal to get it right this time. Number two, very excited to see the bus facility come to completion. We're looking at a couple more weeks. We were picking out paint colors and countertops last week, and it's really down to the nitty-gritty here at the end. We will plan a ribbon cutting for sometime in September and invite the Cap family there. And I know everybody's very excited to see a project that we've talked about for maybe 5 years now be completed. So be on the lookout for that. That will be a great thing happening in the coming month. Also, welcome to Lane Freimeyer to our team at the city. He's been a great asset and help for us on the side, and we're very excited that he accepted the position to fill at municipal court. We know Jason Maxwell did a great job for many years, and I was very worried about filling that position. It was on my whiteboard for many, many months as a daunting task, because I had never hired a judge before. And very excited that he took on that challenge, and I know the staff is more than happy to have him there. And then the last thing I have, another huge welcome to Chance Plett. Would you like to come up here so I can introduce you? So I know that I've talked him up a lot, but Chance joins us. He is a former Liberal High School graduate. We are thrilled to welcome him as the Director of Aviation at the airport. We're making some changes out there. And he graduated from Liberal High School and then moved away for college and is now coming back to his hometown. Yes. And we love it when this happens, and we hope it happens more often. Chance, so bring all of your former classmates back, okay? But you can't say this very often, but I love it when we can do this, and I hope it catches on, because Liberal's a great place to be, raise a family, be around your family if they're still here. And he has direct ties to aviation. He's a pilot himself, worked a communications position for a police department with over 200 staffers, I believe. And so he brings a variety of skill set to the city, and we could use him in a lot of different areas. So did you want to say anything to the
No,
commission?
I don't need to say much. I have been away from my hometown for several years, but everyone has made my family feel extremely welcome since we've been back. So we appreciate that more than you can imagine. I guess I would say also thank you for believing in our airport and investing in the airport. It really is one of our greatest assets. It's the front door to our city. It's the front door to our community. And I've just met that team at the airport just a short time now. I'm already impressed by what we're doing and impressed by the things ahead. And I'm really excited to get to work at it. So thank you so much.
So Brian Fornwalt is still with us. We are moving him to a title that's the Director of Airfield Operations. So more overseeing what happens outside, while Chance will supervise a lot of the administrative duties on the inside. As you know, dealing with the FAA and all sorts of regulations there, that is a full-time job in and of itself. And he told me today that it was totally different today than it was yesterday. So I think it will be an adventure for quite some time with all the plans that we have and hope to have at the airport. And this is a huge win for us here at the city, and we're very much looking forward to having you on board.
Thank you for saying
So
that. Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you. I look forward to meeting you all more. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Glad to have you, Chance.
Thank you.
That is all for me tonight.
All right. Item number 13, items from commissioners. Who wants to start tonight?
I'll start.
Okay.
Well, as always, thank you to all the staff. I mean, you just continue to see it, all the work being done, both on sidewalks, the downtown. Parks are still green, even though most yards, no matter how much you water, are starting to turn yellow.
Mine's still green.
Yeah, we will.
I'm part of that increase in the water.
You're gonna fund all the water budget for us. But it takes all, you see them constantly working, no matter what the weather is, you see our staff out there, both cleaning, preparing, just the events we had recently. It was amazing to see everything that we can coordinate with the community and then the staff that is involved with it the entire time. So huge shout out to them. Also, just to point out, as you know, the county saga continues, and it's not something just for Seward County. It's important to mention to everybody that Finney County is being targeted by, their citizen groups. Ford County is being targeted by citizen groups. Their administrator just resigned over situations like that. I don't even think, as far as I know, he hasn't even done anything wrong. It's just citizen groups coming out and starting to nitpick at the different government entities. Salina, both Salina, the city, and then Saline County, Emporia.
Emporia is a nightmare.
It is happening all over. Different citizen groups, even in Wichita and Sedgwick County. Right now, with the cost of everything and taxes being increased, it is getting different people kind of activated and looking into government and what their governments do. So I still am very proud of our staff, and that the city of Liberal is rarely one of those that is considered in that group of, we're going to be angry at an entity, so let's pick one and where we're going to go. Also, a huge shout out both to the school district and the college, because they've been able to also avoid those spotlights. So good job to everybody. That's all I got. Thank you for all you do.
So you can still snap and clap at our city commission meetings?
Yes, yes, you can. At any point in time.
No prohibition on that?
We won't arrest you for that.
Or drag you out by your feet. Did you see that?
I did not.
I didn't want to
Emporia.
either.
That's a little
And I
side
usually keep up
conversation.
to date with us.
I won't belabor the points. I don't have much to say, except again, thank you to city staff for your hard work, echoing Commissioner Laura's comments, to Brian and Scarlett for the work that you're putting in on the budget. Really appreciating you getting us that information, putting it together in a way that hopefully we can digest it and make some good decisions for the city of Liberal. Okay, thanks. Ron?
Yeah, I thank staff, but I mean, this is a tough time of year doing the budget and everything. I know it takes a lot of hours and a lot of work, and then just put the pressure on us, but, just kidding about that. But, we really do appreciate everything you do, and we're really thankful for the staff that we have. It makes our job a lot easier. We want to welcome Lane Frymeyer to the deal, and thank Kim for coming out tonight. And thank her for all she does. I know she makes that place run over there, so good to see her here, and just look forward to us getting through this budget, I guess. So that's all I got.
I said I wasn't going to say much, but I have a small list. So I want to thank Brian and Scarlett so much for all of your hard work with the budget. I feel like as the years have gone by, I'm able to understand it, but you two have really made this process a lot easier, and really just to understand what the budget is about and how we can make improvements to it. So I do appreciate that, because I do feel like it's night and day in comparison to the years in the past. Want to thank also Watkins Strategies. I think they do a really good job. They have to sit through a lot of hearings, a lot of information overload, and so I do appreciate that they're able to just basically condense it and able to get us to understand everything that's happening at the Capitol. Congratulations to Attorney Frymeyer. I'm excited to have him on board. And also thank you, Kim, for all of your hard work. And basically, we knew that Attorney Maxwell left, but you just make it so seamless that we really didn't feel, I guess, like that there was just all this changes in administration. So thank you for that as well. School is starting tomorrow, so please, people, leave early, don't speed, respect the school zones. Life happens, but we had an incident that happened at my son's school a couple years back, and so we just want to remember at the end of the day, everybody's in a hurry, but children's safety should always be a top priority. I'm super excited about the Christmas tree. I am just so excited. I have no words. I can't wait, but we will talk about that more as time comes. Welcome, Chance. I'm excited to have you on board as well with us. And then just the last thing, I posted something on social media about families covering drains with plastic bags. I feel like now that I've posted it, people are starting to call that in more. I've had 3 phone calls within the last week, and so just once again, people don't do it. At the end of the day, it's going to cause the splash pads to break, and we're going to have to shut them down. And so please just don't do it.
Okay, thanks, Jen. Just a few things real quick. As always, thanks to the staff. I see these guys out working in this weather, and it's tough. So extra appreciation for what they're going through in their jobs to to serve our community, and I really do appreciate that. Just to echo what Janess said, school starts tomorrow, so, it's gonna take a little bit, it's always a bit of an adjustment every year in your schedules, but slow down and pay attention, extra attention as you're going around the schools and things. Thanks to Kim, what you guys do at court, and for Judge Freimeyer, excited to have him on board in a more permanent fashion. I think he's gonna be great. Also, Chance, looking forward to seeing what you're gonna do out at the airport. Very excited to have you back on a lot of different levels. So glad, welcome back. And very excited about what's going on with the downtown. I heard a lot of good reports about that meeting from actually a couple of different places, and glad to see that moving forward. And I think it's very exciting. And just to kind of reference what Jose was talking about earlier, I think one of the things that we've been very adamant about in the last few years is trying to be as transparent as we can be in everything that we do. And I think that helps people understand more about what we're doing. I think that sort of mitigates against having, some group come up and rise up against us, because if you're paying attention, you should be able to understand all that we're doing. And so I'm thankful to this group and to the staff for making sure that we're always in that transparent mode. So that's all I've got. Item number 14, the vouchers.
Make a motion that we approve the vouchers in the amount of $1,116,743.36.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. We're adjourned.